Audio Jungle.
Hello and welcome to all the admiring audience. If you aren't aware of the current happenings around the globe, then you are like a pen without an ink. Fear not, latest news spotted only here on Newsletter by SRCC-Wings of Fire. I, Adarsh Agarwal, along with my co-comparer Rohit Yadav, will enlighten you with the latest news headlines of this month.
Let's have a look on finance news. European asset manager to be acquired by Goldman Sachs for $1.9 billion. After this partnership, the GS Group will emerge as the largest non-affiliated insurance asset manager.
Larsen & Toubro has planned to sell its hydropower project to Renew Power Services for Rs 985 crores.
PwC India to generate 10,000 jobs over next 5 years and invest Rs 1,600 crore.
Ubharte Sitare scheme for export-oriented micro, small and medium enterprises. The central government has identified champion sectors and attempted to support them with technology and funding.
Coming to the end of financial highlights, let's have a look at economic happenings around the globe.
With Kabul falling in the hands of Taliban, Indian exporters believe the situation of Afghanistan would impact the bilateral trade with India.
India's aim to become a $5 trillion economy in financial year 25 is hard hit by the pandemic. According to Cambridge University, the decline in Indian economy is steeper than that of other developing countries.
India's value e-commerce market to touch $40 billion by 2030, suggested by Kearney report.
Waiting for cabinet approval on cryptocurrency bill, says Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. Everyone has kept a hawk eye on government's approach toward the much awaited cryptocurrency.
I believe, Rohit, just as you are intrigued to know about the future of Indo-Afghan trade deals and cryptocurrency, our audience too must have given a deep thought of the same, now driving the way towards personal finance.
HDFC fully prepared to issue new credit cards after RBI partially lifted the month-long restriction. The restriction has caused a great deal of loss to the bank, with a loss of almost 1% of its market stake. HDFC has planned to revive its market share with a bigger and better strategy.
Rohit, you must be aware of the recent tax amendments. Let's enlighten our audiences too.
Parliament passes Taxation Law Bill 2021 to scrap the controversial retrospective taxation, which was introduced in 2012. The Finance Act 2012 had amended the explanation given in IT Act, enabling the government to tax the transfer of shares of the companies, which derive its value substantially from the asset located in India. This amendment hence closes the tax demand raised in all 17 cases, like Vodafone and Hawk case, under the condition that the assessee withdraw any litigation in this regard and make no claim for compensation.
The Indian government on August 18 has come up with 24th Amendment in IT rules, allowing NCLT-appointed resolution professionals to verify tax returns of the company undergoing bankruptcy. Also, as notified by the tax department, it is now considered as a compulsory obligation for resolution professionals to follow the rules meant for tax return filers of certain SSEs.
Now, moving toward the most vulnerable, though enthusiastic area, that is stock market.
Commencing with Divyani International Limited, one of the biggest franchise of Yum Corporation in India, launched its Rs 1,838 crores IPO on August 4 and concluded it with a sound subscription of around 116.71 times.
Chinese market collapses. Chinese tech share crashed in the third week of the month, and Hong Kong's benchmark index hit a nearly 10-month trough.
One of the biggest FMCG giants, Hindustan Unilever Limited, attained a market capitalization of rupees 6 trillion on 28th August, with its all-time high of around 2,628 rupees on Bombay Stock Exchange. It is the fifth Indian corporation to gain this landmark.
NIFTY crosses the 16,000 mark for the first time on August 3rd, depicting optimism and better prospects for the stock market.
Rohit, we have now covered the highlights of August, but how could we not mention about the historical festival that India celebrated? The Tokyo Olympics 2020 made India back lifelong memories and concrete its place in the heart of every Indian.
Absolutely, Adarsh. Let's explore India at Tokyo 2020. In last 4 decades, India got its best ranking of 33rd position with 1 gold, 2 silver and 4 bronze in Tokyo Olympic 2020. Gold is won by athlete Neeraj Chopra, silver by weightlifter Mirabai Chanu and wrestler Ravi Kumar Daya. Men's hockey team, boxer Lavlina, wrestler Bajrang Punia and PV Sindhu bagged bronze medals.
A commendable performance is shown by women's hockey team Kamaljit Kaur in discus throw, wrestler Bajrang Punia and fencer Bhavani Devi. In India, sports and games were stereotypically mentioned as mere extracurricular activities. But now, the scenario is gradually changing. Many youngsters are actively taking up sports as a career and are coming up with flying colors. So this brings us to the end of this August edition. We hope the newsletter served your purpose.
We hereby would like to sign off and look forward to having you again in the upcoming newsletter session. For a detailed insight of this news, do check out the link in description below. Thank you for being such a patient listener.
Thank you, everyone.